looking at my book. Okay, maybe I should turn on some lights. So this is my Abacus book and trying to get it set up. So here I am just talking about my book, and this book is available on Amazon. I was going to, it's a little thick and it's got some colors. So what this book is about is teaching children how to do math with the abacus, and it goes step by step. We talk about the first thing is talking about like what the numbers are and what it looks like. So this is 0, and so here I have it where I show what 0 looks like. But on the abacus, this is what 0 looks like. It's interesting that in school we don't teach from 0. We actually teach from 1. So this is 1 on the abacus. That's 1 on the abacus. Why? I don't know why we teach. But then after a while, when school teaches 0, they have a whole unit called 0 the hero. On the abacus, it's really natural because we have to start from 0 because it starts from a clean thing. So how do I know this is clean? Well, this is clean because there's no beads touching this beam. This beam is what counts. This beam is what makes it count. We have our counting, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these bottom beads has a value of 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. All these beads have a value of 1. 1. So this is 1, that's 1. So if I take away 1, I can take away this 1, right? It's the same thing. If I have 3 and I take away 1, I just take away this 1 bead. So if I have 4 and I take away 1, I just take away this. We actually talk about it in the back of the book, which is so the idea was once the children know how to understand and read the abacus, my book actually goes into adding and subtracting, but it's very specific. Because in Abacus, we actually have to be specific with our questions. And I wanted to show that, for this one, we're only adding the 1. So we have, this is 5. So all the top beads has a value of 5. If the top bead has a value of 5, I'm going to add the 1. And I just need to add the 1 like this. So it's the same thing if I had 6 and I add 1. So the idea here was I want to just add the 1 to show what it looks like to add 1, right? And then it goes into the next one, right? So after we add 1, so we have 7, we add 1, so we're just moving this 1 bead. If I want to take away 1, I just take away 1 from here. So the idea is that it's a 1-to-1. The only issue I guess I see is that right here, this is a value of 5. So anytime we deal with this, it's always a value of 5. No matter what column you're on the abacus, this is a value of 5. How do I know it's a value of 5? Because it touches the beam. Because it touches the beam. Hey, good morning, Audrey. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. We're just talking about abacus, and we're talking about how using abacus to learn math. And so for the beginning, right, understanding how to count on the abacus. So the first thing is to understand how to read it. Then what we do is we actually do adding and we do subtraction. So in this book, we actually do subtraction. I have it where I added like pictures of what the abacus looks like. So we have 2, right? How do I know? Okay, so let's start from the beginning. We're going to count. If we count 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 4. All these beads are touching, and then this is also kind of cool because then the kids will know like pattern recognition. If I see that there's all 4 beads are touching this is the number 4. So it's also called subitizing. Subitizing is when you see something like a die. When you see something, you know that this is 2. So if that's 2, right, that's 2. So if I do 6, right, that is 6. How do I know? Well, this is 5, and then this is 6. So then if I do 5, that's 5. So just like we do on the die, we do it on the abacus. But it's easier on the abacus because we go higher than just 6, right? Because then we have to have 2. We actually have to have 2 die in order to do more than 6. But if we do 6, then we have 7. We don't have 7 here. Okay. But I'm going to see if I could put in my microphone. And then we have 8. So how do I know? It's 5, 6, 7, 8. All this has the value of 5, right? And so, let me see. Maybe this is better. Is that on? Is my mic on? I'm just putting my mic on. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's my mic. Okay. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. How do I know that this is 9? Well, I just counted it, right? So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All the bottom beads has a value of 1. All the top bead has a value of 5. So then that is, that's how you do 9. Same thing with, let's see. So I have other things, right? Like, oh yeah. So the idea was these playing cards. So I had these playing cards. I like playing cards because why? Because it shows us what these are. So you can have like 5, that would be 5, right? And if I do 6, I have 6. But then the problem with playing cards is, well, after 10. Oh, so that was the other thing. So notice like on the, maybe I should move my book. Okay, so notice that on the playing cards, we have 10, but we have to count it, right? Like it's hard to see all of this. It's hard to see 10 because we have to count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the abacus, it's kind of easy because we just do that. That's 10. How do I know that this is 10? Well, I know that this is 10 because on the abacus, we actually talk about place value. So on the place value, we have ones. How do I know that this is ones? Because there's a dot right here. This dot symbolizes the ones place. So we have ones. So we do, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're still in the ones place, right? So if I do 8, that's what 8 looks like. It's the ones place. But then when we go one more over, this is the tens. So when we do 10, that's 10. Just like how we do here. 1 and 0, 1, 0. We don't need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because the human eye, which is kind of interesting, the human eye can only see so much, right? We actually have to start counting anything above 5. So that's why the abacus was kind of cool, because here I know that this is 6, and then this is 5, because it's one item. And then what else? We have 7, right? Then in school we do 17, right? To show the quantity, which is great. On the abacus, we don't show quantity. We just show what the number is. So if I want to do 17, that's 17. So if you have any questions, let me know. But then that was the thing. Like, so I like the playing cards. It's kind of better than Uno. And I started thinking about it. And I'm like, why is playing cards better? But Uno is kind of cool because it's got some really pretty colors. But the problem is this is 9, just like 9. Like I have to, like, you don't know what number 9 is. You really have to know your number sense to know what 9 is. So on the abacus, right, this is 9. But on Uno, it's blue and it's 9. Anyways, so that's one of the epiphanies that I had. Like playing cards is actually really cool. It's a little much. I mean, it's not as pretty as Uno, right? Because we got 7 diamonds and we got 7s. So, but anyways, so I thought that was interesting. Like the difference between Uno and playing cards, were the difference between abacus and regular school class, right? So abacus, there's a structure to it. We actually have a structure to how we add and subtract. Whereas in regular school, we just kind of get thrown things, right? Whoa, we need to know our doubles. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Well, on the abacus, we do 1 plus 1, right? We could see it. 1 plus 1 is 2. Or we do 2 plus 2 is 4. But then they're like, okay, 3 plus 3 is 6. Well, on the abacus, it's different because now we have to start thinking about how do we add this? How do we add the 3? Why do we want to know? Because it's fundamental. There's fundamental building blocks. So let me move these out of the way. So there's fundamental building blocks of like actually adding. One of them was understanding the value of 5, right? We have the 5 frame. Let me see if I can get a piece of paper, and a marker. Okay, so we have the value of 5. So we're doing 3 plus 3. Well, easy enough, right? Those are all doubles. We have 1 plus 1, we have 2 plus 2, right? And then we have 4 plus 4. Well, let's start with this one, right? We do 3 plus 3. Okay, that's a one-hit wonder. We know that this is 6. But in Abacus, we actually have to start thinking about like how to utilize this 5. We do 3, there's not enough beads for 3. And that's what this one talks about, right? So what does that mean? Well, we don't have any more beads to add the 3. We need to add 3 more. So this is where the 5 frame comes in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This is where the 5 frame comes in. And we know that if we have 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. That's what this is. This is 5. So we go and if we want 3, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Anyways, we have 3. We have to add the 5. We take this, we add the 5, and we take away 2. So that is what we're doing. So now we have it where we have 3 is equal to 5 minus 2. When you know this, you can use it everywhere, right? Everywhere we need it. So like now, let's do 4 plus 3. Well, this is the 3, right? So instead of learning, oh, I need to remember my doubles, 3 plus 3, and then I add the 1, you could do that, or you could learn 3 equals to 5 minus 2. 3, 5 minus 2. And my answer is 7. So the difference is we actually build. We actually build and we use and we reuse. What about it? What's called? Reusing. We like to reuse things. Use, multi-purpose. Is it multi-purpose? It's more foundational. So let's go to the next one, right? We do 2 plus 3. No, okay, let's do this one. Let's do 4. So again, we could learn our doubles, right? We have 1, 2, 3. So we learned our doubles, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. So then this is 8. Well, this is back to our 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is again, we're going to be learning our fives, which is what this book is about. It's not learning about the doubles, it's learning about how to utilize the next number, how to utilize the number that's here. I'm trying to find another color of the Sharpie. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. So what do we know? We know in the 5 frame, so this is our 5 frame. This is our 5 frame, right? We learned this in school, and it's great. It's fantastic. I love it. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. But Abacus makes it one step further. It's like super skills. Super skills. So what does that mean? Well, okay, we know that 4 and 1 are pairs. 4 and 1, they are pairs. So what we need to do is, if I want to use this 5, I have to take this, I have to make this 1, and I have to go over here. Why? Why am I doing that? Because 5 is too much. So we have 4, and then plus 4. There's not enough beads to add the 4, so this is where we start using our abacus formula. If I want to add the 4, I want to add 5 and take away 1. I want to add the 5, take away 1. That's what I'm doing. So that's what this is. So what we're doing is we're using our information for our 5 frame. Our 5 frame is 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Well, if we just maneuver it and switch it around a little bit, right? Ooh, that's a good one. So I could use Post-it notes. Yeah, there we go. We use Post-it notes. Because then I can add, I could show, let's see, let me get a different color. Oh, here. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, we'll do green, because green's a good color. Green is a go color. Okay. So, let's see if this is going to work. So we have 4, right? and then 1 equals to 5. So what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? We have an add here, and we have a take. We have this, right? So it's 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Well, the idea is to be able to move these around, right? Move it around. So we move it to this side. Ooh, that didn't work. We move it to this side. So we have 4 plus 1. That's not going to work. We have 4 plus 1, and then we have to move it to this side. Maybe we got to make it closer. So it'd be 4 plus 1 is equal to 5, right? We're using the same numbers. We're using the same numbers, but we're just taking this and we're moving it to this side. When we take it to this side, then we can actually use it. So that means we have 4, and then we have the 5. We add the 5, but we have to take away the 1, which is kind of funny because I actually use a story on this. We go to the cats in the tree. Have you ever seen Incredibles? And we do cat, and there was that one episode, not episode, but there's this one scene where Mr. Incredible goes to takes the tree out. So the idea was, takes the tree out and then tries to help and takes the cat out of the tree. And anyways. So if you ever get a chance, go take a look at it. That's the part of this one. I mean, I did start it with something different and it wasn't good. So that's what this is. When we do Abacus, it's actually very strategic. We don't just throw things up against the wall. There's a methodology and a framework to understanding the abacus. So when we start with learning how to add it. We learn how to count it, right? We learn how to read it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when we add the 4, we need to add another 4, right? We know that this is 5. So we have our counting, right? This is 9, and then this is 19. How do I know? This is ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Well, because it depends on this dot, right? This dot here is tens, hundreds, thousands. Well, because it depends on this dot, right? This dot here is what tells me. So if you want to, you could start here where you have this, and then you have your tenths, right? So this is your decimal. Your decimal would be right here. It would be tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. It's a hard word to say. But so there would be tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. It's a hard word to say. But so the decimals, you could do decimals in this way. I like to start in this way because we usually have more numbers going this way. So we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. And this is a smaller abacus. This is a smaller abacus that I'm using. I like it because it's nice and colorful. You can have a plain old one, right? Like this. This is the same one. These are it's fine. This is, I think, 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 columns. So it's 13 columns. It's the same concept. This one has a dot here, so you can actually start your ones here and then move all the way up here, because then you have all of these, right? If you start your ones here, depending how big your number is. Like, I don't know how big your numbers can be in order to utilize all of this, but this is like plenty of space. Then if you want to start here, then you have your decimals here, and then you have these ones for your other columns, right? So if you're ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, then the opposite of tenths, hundreds, and thousands over here. 10, 100, thousands. So the idea to utilize this dot, it just depends on where you're going to do your calculation, and it will help you keep track of your numbers. So if it's a bigger one like this, I would start from the middle. And so, which is different than these ones, right? This one is a Chinese abacus. The Chinese abacus is a little redundant because why? Because we have 2 beads on top and 5 beads on the bottom. This is a Japanese abacus. This is a 1 bead on top and 4 beads on bottom. Everybody uses this now. Not too many. I mean, there's like old people, like older than me, and I'm like really old. There's old people that use this, but now everybody's using this one because it's more efficient. How is it more efficient? Okay, well, let me go. So how is it more efficient? Well, it's more efficient. So let's start counting. So if I choose, it doesn't matter here. This one doesn't show you where to start. So I'm just going to start right here. I'm going to have to remember to start right here. So we have 1, which is fine, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so notice this is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5. Well, on the Chinese abacus, this is also 5. So then we count 5, 6, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 10 is this way. Well, now we get into a little bit more redundancies. So if this is 10, this is also 10 because it's 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5, or this is 10 because it still follows the concept of place values. So you have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. I just randomly chose this one. There's no real indicator where it is. So then if we continue to count, it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we count 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. Well, now we get into another redundancy because this is 5. This is also 15. So we have 15 or 15. It's just extra work. I mean, if you notice, the difference between these beads and these beads is that this one here they can use for competition, and then this one is not really necessary for competition. It's just for more calculating. So it keeps track of everything. And the beads are bigger. So we have 16, so that's 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, and then 20. Oops, 20. So we have 20. I have to count that one because it's 1 here, it's a 10, and then 5 plus 5, that's 20. This is also 20, right? Whereas on the abacus, this will always be 20 and whatever. This is 20. But on this abacus, this is 20. So we have 20, 20, or 20. Yeah. I mean, you could still use it. If you have this abacus, it's not like it's lost. Like, you could still use it. You could just use the middle parts like that. So if you have an abacus like this, it is still usable. So you just have to make sure that you just use the middle parts and remove and ignore the top part if you wanted to work like this. So it is possible. I mean, it's nice to know like that, to know the quantity, right? Like this is 5. But anyways, so yeah, you could still use this, be 5 and so this would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So it would just be part of a discipline thing that you would have to just use the middle part of the Chinese abacus. So so this is 19, so that's 19. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, okay, so hopefully you could still hear me. Oh. so we start off with learning how to count, and so this is this is the idea of understanding what the picture looks like, right? The picture of an abacus, the number of the abacus, and the what it looks like in real life. So that's where I have this. It is available. Like the live. Oh, what other? wonder how long I've been on. Duration 25 minutes. Okay. Just checking on the. Swipe to close. I don't know how to do that. How do you invite hosts, guests, gifts? So we're just talking about Abacus, and then this is counting on the Abacus. So when we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything that's lower than 4, no, all of the bottom beats has a value of 1. So when we count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have 5. All the top beats has a value of 5. So we have 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So showing that this is 9, it's one thing to see it. So we have to like kind of remember what the abacus is. So the abacus is just a counting tool to count and to add and subtract, multiply and divide. So we have it where this book is talking about counting. So we go through and this is for preschools because then I was like talking about like, you know, how to count forward. So we were counting forward. We have 7, 8, 9. Oh, this is also good for counting on. This is also good for counting on. What? No. Woo. No. No. I don't know what I just did. Anyways, so this is really good for counting on. So you add this as a counting on. Huh, okay. So how do I know? Well, on the abacus, we do 0, right? If we have 0, well, what's after 0 is 1. And it's good to know that after 1 is 2. So we have 2. Now, if we have 3, if we have 5, they know that this is 5. Now we know is we have to start learning how to count on when we add the 1. What is after 4? What is after 5? After 5 is 6, and then 7. So we do. Topic couldn't be changed during a live. Okay. So, I don't know what this is. Enhance? Do 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 do. Sound effects? No, I don't want to do sound effects. Okay, but anyways, I'm gonna go. That's it.